हाँ वो
Yes, yes. How the and like wow, the AWS services works, how this concept works. So yeah, now one thing is like before proceeding further, guys, anyone want to explain what is cloud computing? You can write in the chat box. You can unmute yourself as well. You can answer that as well.
they can't unmute Yogendra, so
They can raise their hand. I can unmute them.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So you guys, you can raise your hand if you want to talk about cloud computing. What is it? And otherwise, like you have your chat box as well. Yeah. Yes, Sonia. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for unmuting me. So it's more of understanding the network of the servers, the internet, the data, the processors, the database, and everything. I don't know if I have completed everything.
Okay, great. That's a very nice answer. Mayank, can you give permission to Mayank as well? Yeah, yes, Mayank.
Yeah, thanks for giving me the permission. So basically what I understand, instead of using my own resources or my company resources, I'm taking the help of another company resources and I'm deploying my application over there. So I'm giving basically the headache of maintaining my own infrastructure to another company, another party.
Great. Great. I have something in chat box as well. Delivering of services online, such as servers, databases, softwares to the users, managing networks, server data remotely. Okay, it's wonderful. Like I can see that you guys are saying it's not only the storage, because like many of the times when I ask the participants like what is cloud computing, they say, okay, that is a storage. We store our data over there. So like it's not only with the storage. We have all the resources available. Like earlier, we were creating our own data centers, and then we were like just running our applications, and we were managing multiple physical servers over there in our data centers. Now, when we have these physical servers, we have to go for a huge upfront cost. Like we will purchase the servers and then we will start using the applications inside that. But here in the cloud computing, this is completely changing. We do not need to go for the upfront investment. That is one of the best benefit of cloud computing, avoiding the large upfront investment. We have the services on demand available. We can provision the compute resources whenever we need that. Like let's taking one simple example. Like if you're working in some company and we want some physical servers for us. So we'll just raise a request. It will go through the financial department. The whole approval cycle will start. And after that, like it can take 1 or 2 months of time. It can take even 3 months of time to get back that particular server. But in case of the cloud computing environment, whenever you want a server, you can just create it. It can take 2 to 3 minutes of time just to create that particular server. So that is a very big benefit of the cloud computing. And now what is the offering over there? So offering includes everything, like whatever is possible in the IT resources. Like we can create our own networks, we can create our own storages, we can create our own compute resources, the databases, everything. We have everything. We can even create the complete data center over there in the cloud. Now, who is providing that cloud? So basically, we have the service providers. So service providers are managing the data center for you, and you are using the services so that you can like avoid that overhead of managing those physical servers and racking and stacking those physical servers. So here we are talking about one of the service provider, that is Amazon Web Services, AWS. And AWS is the very first cloud service, public cloud service provider launched in the year 2006. But yeah, the thing is why we are learning this cloud computing. That is very important, guys. Why we are learning this. And even like, I want to answer this particular question by sharing why I'm going, why like I selected this as my domain, why I'm going in this particular domain, why I'm teaching cloud computing. So guys, when I was in my college, like was doing my master's, I thought that like there are so many different, I would say different technologies, different domains. Machine learning is there, data analytics is there, Bitcoin was coming at that point of time, IoT is there. There are so many technologies, there are so many domains. Which one I should select? Then I thought like, doesn't matter which domain, in which domain you are working, doesn't matter which technology you are learning. You need a platform, right? You need a platform to run your resources. If you are going for machine learning, you will have the servers which are running for you. If you are going for blockchain, again, you have the servers. Where are those servers? So we need something which is common in all these technologies, and that platform is the cloud computing environment. That is what we have. Without this, we cannot deal with any of the technologies because we need the servers. So cloud computing will be there everywhere in future as well. And there are so many benefits of using the cloud computing environments, and this will give you the answer like why the companies are moving towards the cloud, why the different companies are going over there. So very first thing is the variable expenses. Like as I said earlier, like we do not need to invest in the technology resources. We do not need to do the prior planning on that. We do not need to invest capital expenses. Like even if you don't know at the time, you don't know like how many resources I need, but definitely you have to purchase them in advance. But with the cloud computing environment, you can go with the variable expenses. Like I can start right now. I do not need to pay anything in advance. I can start right now. I can create my servers. At the end of the month, I will pay for whatever I have used. So here you are changing this model completely. Pay with what you are using rather than investing heavily on those resources. So this is one of the big benefits the organizations are getting. And even when the organizations are managing their own data centers, they are investing a lot of time in running those data centers. A lot of time in racking, stacking, management, cooling system, power backups, everything. They were not able to completely focus on their application, which will justify their own business. So now with the cloud computing environment, this overhead is taken by the service provider like AWS. Now AWS will manage that data center for you, and you just need to come and run your applications inside that. And the application which will justify your business, the application which you are delivering to your customers. Also, yeah, this is my favorite benefit. Stop guessing about the capacity. Suppose I'm running some web servers. I have created 5 web servers. Those are running, which can accommodate, say, 1 million users. Tomorrow, there will be 10 million users. What would I do? Like I'm working with the physical servers. My resources will be exhausted. But here in the cloud computing environment, when the resources are available on time, whenever you request for the resources, it will take 1 or 2 minutes of time to create those resources. So how we can take the benefit of this? So today I can create 10 web servers, but if I need more, I can go to 100 web servers as well tomorrow. But what if the traffic is again decreasing, the demand is again decreasing? So in that case, in the physical infrastructure, we cannot come back. But here, again, we can come back to the 10 web servers. So if we can increase the infrastructure or if we can shrink the infrastructure, why do we talk about guessing the capacities requirement? Our requirement changes with the time. So that is how our infrastructure should be. Our infrastructure should also expand whenever the demand is increasing, should go down whenever the demand is decreasing. And as you have completed first few modules, can you tell me guys like which service in AWS we are using for this, for increasing or decreasing the number of servers? You can give the answer in the chat box. EC2 is your virtual machine. Yeah, someone got the answer. Like, yes, Purnima, auto scaling. Absolutely. Load balancer is also there, but is load balancer going to increase or decrease the number of servers? Yeah, there is one slide in our course like which shows what is the difference between the load balancer and the auto scaling. what auto scaling is doing and what load balancer is doing. Yeah, great. Auto scaling is working for us. Auto scaling will increase or decrease the number of servers. Amazing. Also, economies of scale. Why the cloud computing environment is cheaper than the normal infrastructures? Well, guys, basically, now how many of you live in your home? Like you and your family, or like, is there someone who is in some flats on the sharing basis?
There is one question, I think, Yogendra, somebody is like, I'm from mechanical and can you, brief more on auto scaling? So
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
we will discuss about that as well. No problem. That is coming. It's coming. Even I will show you that. Okay, living in home, living in flat, PG. Okay, so those who are staying in PGs or on shared basis, probably your rent is less, right? Your rent is less because you are staying on sharing basis. So when we are using the cloud computing environments, guys, we have like millions of customers which are using these data centers which are provided by AWS. Millions of customers. And when we have this usage of hundreds of thousands of customers are being aggregated, AWS is getting the benefits of this economies of scale. So when AWS is getting this benefit, AWS is giving that back to the customers. That's why when we see like per hour cost of the resources, that will be very, very less. That will be very less. Okay, so this is another one example. Also, one of the benefit is like speed and agility. Whenever we need the resources, we have those resources with us. Whenever we want to create the servers, those servers are with us. We do not need to wait for weeks or months of time. We have the minutes. We just have 1 or 2 minutes and our resources will be ready. And also one of the benefit is like go global in the minutes. Like AWS data centers are everywhere. Like for example, suppose today I'm creating some application and that like the customers who are going to use that application are in India. Okay, that is fine. I'm creating some servers in Indian region and customers will get the benefit of that. What if I want to expand the scope of my application? Tomorrow I want to serve the customers in London as well, or in UK, complete UK. So in that case, if UK based customers are going to visit my application, which is hosted in India, the latency will be huge because the distance between the customer and the servers are very big. So definitely for the better experience of my customers, I have to create some servers in UK as well, so that I can serve the request of the customers locally. So again, double the cost, but AWS data centers are spread across the globe. Even we will talk about that infrastructure as well, like how the AWS infrastructure is working and how AWS is providing services throughout the globe. So within fraction of minutes, we can replicate our entire infrastructure in multiple regions of AWS so that we can serve the global audience. So guys, today we are going to see the overview of like many of the services, the core services, and core services are actually the syllabus of this cloud practitioner, the compute service, networking, and everything. So let's quickly check. First of all, I will check if there are some questions in the chat box, and we'll quickly shift the module. Just give me a minute.
Do you want me to read some of them for you?
No, I'm reading that questions. Okay. Someone asked.
Yogendra, yeah, there is an interesting question for you.
Yeah, yes.
Why is AWS preferred over Azure? I'm sure you'd love to answer.
Why AWS is preferred? Guys, the best example is you can Google and you can search for Gartner chart, Gartner Magic Quadrant. So Gartner Magic Quadrant will show you like why we are learning AWS actually. So for near about more than 10 years, AWS is on top. So AWS is having the biggest infrastructure, and there are a lot many customers which are using AWS. And just to show you, here it is. I think this will answer. Probably, like we want to enhance ourselves, we want to like learn these new technologies just to get the better jobs. So on Glassdoor, I've searched for AWS Solutions Architect, and you can see what are the companies which are hiring the AWS Solution Architects. So there are all top companies: TCS, Accenture, HCL, IBM, Wipro, Cognizant. There's a huge list, Amazon itself as well. Now, Amazon is customer of AWS, we can say, because these both the businesses are completely segregated, but are like managed. So guys, basically, I found very interesting document as well. Let me check if I can go through that or not. It's probably in my history. Just give me a minute.
So by the time Yogendra picks up the things, so I'm seeing some of the questions which is like, where is the material? So this link was made available to the learning cohort which have enrolled in the course and have started at least one module. So if you've been here without that, just go to, Anjana will put the link here. You go to FutureSkills Prime, get started before you come for the next session. Please enroll and go through the first module at least. Otherwise, you will feel little lost. Yogendra is going to cover a little bit of the overview here, but you will have to next session by the time you come to make the best out of it. Please make sure you go through the first module of the course and come in.
While he looks for the source, let me quickly share what we are talking about. So this is where on FutureSkills Prime, if you go to cloud, you will be seeing AWS Cloud Masterclass, Cloud Practitioner Essential. When you click here, you will go to a form which you will have to register. Once you register, I'm sharing my another screen. You will have to, register, and then you'll be able to log in. And I'll share you what you will be able to see. Just give me a moment. I'm opening the skill builder, which I have. So it's on another page. Just give me a moment. Yeah. Can everyone see my screen?
No, we're still seeing the old one.
AWS
And-
one. Okay,
Yeah, the
sure.
FSP page. Just stop and start.
Okay.
So the questions on what course to learn, will it give you a job? I think to some extent Yogendra is going to answer. But you join tomorrow's class, and we can talk about job opportunities and what course to cover.
So this is where everybody will come. This is AWS Cloud Practitioner, and there are modules in it. First, it will talk about intro, module 1, module 2. Likewise, if you look at it, then there are almost 11 modules in this till the final assessment. And so we expected, and we had asked everybody to complete at least the first 2 modules, because they are very basic modules. There is no much complexity. Of course, there are things which are newer for anybody. So if you even now go back and read, we'll just, at least you'll remember whatever you've learned here, and it will be reiterated, and you will not forget the concepts. Yogendra, sorry, back to you.
Yep. No problem. So yeah, I got this Gartner chart. Let me share this with you guys. Why we are learning AWS? Here is the reason. So guys, this is showing the magic quadrant for cloud infrastructure and platform services, and you can see AWS is in top in the leaderboard. And this particular status of AWS is from last 10 years. So AWS is the most emerging most emerging cloud service provider, and AWS is having a biggest customer base as well. That's why, like, if you want to go in this particular domain of cloud computing and you want to like uh, for the betterment of the future, you want to like get into more options for the better jobs and better salaries, definitely AWS technologies will help you there, because there are so many companies. Like, how many of you have watched cricket match, India versus Pakistan, day before yesterday? Yeah, have you watched that match? Yeah. How many of you watched that on Hotstar? Hotstar. Yes. On Hotstar, they made a record. They made a record of 1.3 crore viewers. Yeah, 1 crore, more than 1 crore. Guys, they are one of the customers of AWS. And how this was made possible, it's because of one of the service, that is Amazon CloudFront, which is the contained delivery network service of AWS. So in the future modules, you are going to touch that CloudFront as well. So they are using CloudFront and they are distributing this particular live streams to the customers without any delays. So they reached this particular record. Netflix also, yes, obviously Netflix. Those who have completed this course, they might have seen there is one service, Amazon S3. Amazon S3 is the simple storage service. So Netflix is using Amazon S3 to store all their media content that is served to the public using, again, CloudFront. So there are very big customers which are there. Even NASA also used AWS platforms. So the customer base is very big over here, and AWS provides a lot of customizations to the customers. Like when it comes to the infrastructure creation, AWS is providing a lot much flexibility to the customers, like how you can create the infrastructure. You can create any kind of infrastructures over there. So when it comes to the cloud infrastructure, AWS is on top of that. Okay, so probably that will answer your question. Now we are going back to the another module, that is compute in the cloud. And guys, I think you all know what is EC2. Okay, anyone want to answer what is EC2? I do not want that full form of EC2. Okay, Elastic Compute Cloud. Okay, what is EC2? What is it? What is Elastic Compute Cloud? Server, virtual machine? It's a web service, guys. It's a web service. It's not a virtual machine. Name of the provider is AWS, Amazon Web Services. Amazon Web Services is the collection of web services. EC2 is one of them. Now, EC2 is a web service which provides you the option to create EC2 instances. And these EC2 instances are your virtual machine. Why I'm forcing this is because, like, whenever you go to the AWS management console, there is a proper format they are using so that you will not get confused. There are list of web services. Each and every web service is having its own dashboard, and then you can see the different features of those web services in the left hand side. For example, here we are in the AWS management console. Now, here we have the list of services, database, blockchain. You can see you can democratize any of the advanced technologies. Like, for example, why we are using cloud. If you are interested in machine learning, you have to implement that on your own in your data center, and you have to deal with all the complexities. But machine learning is already here in the AWS. And you can see there are so many services which are already created by AWS. So that complexity of implementing this advanced technologies is taken care by AWS, and we are getting the direct services. So we are not looking inside that. So basically here we are looking at the compute section, and here we have Amazon EC2, which is one of the most commonly used services of AWS. Because with the help of this EC2 service, okay, I was talking about that format of the management console. Now, if I clicked on EC2, now you can see this is the dashboard of EC2 service.
Yogindra, can you tell them the difference between a virtual server and EC2? I mean, I think a lot of people are getting confused between what is the difference between a web service and a virtual server.
That's what I'm telling. Guys, we have this dashboard of EC2 service. As I said, EC2 is a web service. Now, with the help of this web services, AWS is providing you a lot of resources. Now, when we click on these services, this is the whole bunch of web services. I have clicked on EC2, which is a web service. Now, under this web service, you can see here we have a lot of options available. These are called as the features of this web service. An instance here is one of the feature. So when I say instance, the EC2 instance, that is your virtual machine. The EC2 instance is your virtual machine. I would not say EC2 is a virtual machine, because in EC2, I have auto scaling, I have load balancing, I have so many things inside EC2. So EC2 instance is your virtual machine. And EC2 is a web service, which is a collection of all these features which are provided under this. So now quickly we'll go to the instances section. And here you can see I have 3 instances created. I can say these are the 3 virtual servers for me. Now guys, you have done with the theory part in your course. Let's see, can we create some EC2 instances? So for that, on the top right corner, you can see we have something which is in the orange button. Here it is, launch instance. So let's click on this launch instance. So we'll create our very first virtual machine here. Okay, so you can give some name to your virtual machine. Okay, so this is, I would say Windows server. I'm going to create a Windows server here. Now, here is the very first concept related to the EC2 instances of the virtual machines. We require one Amazon machine image. So what is the Amazon machine image? So with the help of Amazon machine image, guys, you can select which operating system you want for your virtual machine. So here we can browse more Amazon machine images. We can see how many options are available. So here you can see there are so many options in Linux, Amazon's own Linux operating system. Then we have Mac OS as well. And now someone was asking like, why AWS? So guys, AWS is the first provider who is providing Mac OS based virtual machines as well. No one else is doing that. So we have this Mac OS based operating systems. Then we have Red Hat, SUSE, Ubuntu, Microsoft Windows. There are so many options available. Now we'll select the simplest one, Microsoft Windows Server 2019 base. So I will select this operating system for my virtual machine. Now, after selecting the operating system, what else we have? We have to select the configuration. What should be the configuration of my virtual machine? So here, guys, whenever we go to market to purchase some new laptops or new systems, there are some points that we keep in our mind. Why we are purchasing this? What is the purpose of this? What I'm going to do with this particular laptop? Someone would say, I want a gaming system. Someone would say, I want a graphic card, but for my parallel programming models. Someone would say like, I have some memory intensive workloads, so probably I need more RAM than the CPUs. So you have your own requirements. And based on your applications, you can select the type of EC2 instances as well. So here the EC2 instance type will help you to like select, it is giving you the flexibility to select the specific type of EC2 instance. You can click on compare the instance types. Now here you can see there are so many instance types. There are 370. These 370 instance types are actually divided into multiple instance families. If you remember, in your coffee shop, you were having like say one employee who is doing all the tasks for us. One single employee is doing all the tasks. And then we have another employees, like if you want to scale that particular infrastructure, we have another employees, like whenever the traffic is increasing. But out of these employees, we have someone who is expert in like doing the fast transactions. We have someone who is expert in making the coffee. We have someone who is good in the management. They will manage the inventory. But now a single person is doing a lot of works over here. And that is not that much optimized. So what we will do, we will give the task of making the coffee to the employee 1. We will give the task of processing the transactions to the employee 2. And we will give the task of order supplies to the employee 3. Now they have their own expertise. And just like that, we have the different families of the instances. General purpose, compute optimized, memory optimized. Names will tell you for what purpose these are used. General purpose, balance between the compute, memory, networking resources. These are suitable for the broad range of workloads. Compute optimized will offer you the high performance processors. We have more compute power. These are ideal for the compute intensive workloads. Memory optimized will provide you the more memory if you compare that with your CPU. Suppose we have some in-memory data stores. You might have heard of it in market. You can search for it. Redis or Memcached. These are the in-memory data stores, which are using basically the RAM just to work faster. So if you need more RAM than the CPU, you can go with the memory optimized EC2 instances. Similarly, we have accelerated computing, storage optimized as well. Accelerated computing. Now, if you want some virtual machine with some NVIDIA graphic cards, you can go with this. Now, under this, we have like, you can see, these names are not given over here. We have T, T2, T3, then we have C type. So for that, we can go to the AWS documentation and we can check like which particular instance types comes under which family. So this T family, T type instances comes under the general purpose instances. And for example, this C types comes under the compute intensive where we have more CPUs. Like for example, here you can see we have 36 virtual CPUs over here. So 36 virtual CPUs with 60 GB of RAM. So we have smaller machines, we have bigger machines. Now, if you look at the T type instances, here we have the different t-shirt sizes. Large, extra large, 2x large, which will tell you like how much CPU and how much memory you want. So within one type of EC2 instance, we still have like more flexibility, like what configuration we want for ourselves. Now, in this particular demo, we are not going to do a lot of the things. So we will just select T2 micro, where we have one virtual CPU and 1 GB of memory. But you will say, why, like, what is the difference between this T2 micro and this T3 micro, T2 and T3? Somewhere you will say T4 as well. It is not available in this region right now. Okay. So what is the difference? Like, guys, this number represents the generation of that instances. So for example, AWS is keep on updating their hardwares. And whenever there is a big change, they are launching that as a newer version of the instances. So definitely these virtual machines are running on some physical servers. So they are keep on modifying those physical servers. So I would select T3.micro with 2 virtual CPUs and 1 GB of memory. Okay, I will click on select this instance type. So far what I have done, I have selected the operating system. I have selected the configuration of instances. Now, after this, we have something called as the key pair. Guys, how many of you know about public key cryptography? Public or cryptography? Don't know?
I like that honest response.
Yeah, yes, yes, absolutely. Okay. Okay, so guys, basically, cryptography, in the cryptography, we are just like encrypting our data so that like that encrypted data is non-readable, just to make it secure. So basically here, when you're going to create your EC2 instance, you will be able to log in inside that. The username is administrator. Username is administrator for all the Windows-based EC2 instances. Then we have the password. If they are giving you the password directly, if they are keeping some default password, which is common for all the machines, anyone can log in inside your machine. So basically what they are doing is they are generating some random password, and this password they are encrypting. They are encrypting with the keys that you are providing. And you will have that key only. So whenever you want to use that particular password, you can just come with that key, you can decrypt that password and you will get it. So for example, I will create a new key for you. And this is my, say, September 2022 key, and I will create it. So this key will be automatically downloaded in my system. Okay, it's downloaded over here. Now I will proceed further. I will keep networking as it is default because we have not yet discussed about this. Then comes the storage. Definitely, when we are creating a server, we need the storage as well. We need the hard disk. And here we have the different types of hard disks. We have the SSDs, we have the HDDs. So I will go with some general purpose SSDs with the 30 GB of storage. And yeah, we have all these important things over here. We selected the operating system, we selected the configuration, we selected the storage. And now I will launch that machine. Okay, so it is creating all these things for us. Now, launch is initiated successfully, guys. It means our instance is not yet created, but this launch is initiated successfully. Okay, so where is that button? View instances. I'll just refresh this, and you can see now we have the Windows server over here. Instance status is showing this is running, but we have to wait for the status check, just like this 2x2 check. So these are the two checks that AWS is doing. First check is like they are checking the health of the physical server on which this machine is running, virtual machine is running. And second check is like this virtual machine configuration is done properly or not. So these are the two checks that they are doing. So this operating system installation can take 2 minutes of time. Okay. Meanwhile, I'm going to answer some questions in the chat box. But the key comes with an expiration. Assume no, there is no expiry time for this key pair in case of EC2. Enter password. I will show you how the password is extracted. Can we change or generate the new key? At any point of time, you can generate the new keys, but that's a very nice question. What will happen if I lost the key? If you lose the key, you will lose the access to that instance. So there is no direct method to generate a new key for the existing machine, but there are different ways, like the hard disk of that particular virtual machine. You can take the backup of that. You can connect it to other machine, and then you can change the configurations inside that. So that is one point, but yeah, that is indirect process. Yeah, it is possible to take the instance backup. I'll show that. Yeah, someone in between asked like how AWS is providing these services. Okay, quickly I will show you the AWS global infrastructure as well. EC2 instances can be configured to be a DB server, web server, or application server. Yes, absolutely correct. See, you have your physical servers in your data center. How you are going to treat those physical servers? It's up to you guys. It's completely up to you. How you're going to treat that physical server? You can launch your web application inside that. You can launch your database inside that. You can keep it as the backend application server. So whatever you can do with the physical server, you can do that with your virtual machines as well. And now you can check like this Windows server is now up. I can click on connect button. So the guys, user interface is very, very simple. I would suggest like you can create your own personal AWS accounts and you can play with that. That will help you a lot. Let's click on connect. RDP. So RDP is the best way to connect to your Windows servers. I will download the remote desktop file.
Some shortcuts, short forms you'll have to explain for other people who come from non areas, because
yeah. So guys, RDP is the remote desktop protocol. So basically, like if you want to remotely log in inside any of the Windows machine, this RDP feature is by default present in your Windows machines. Like if you are working with, if you are connected via your laptops in which your Windows operating system is installed, you can click on the start menu and you can search for remote desktop connection. It will be there. You can check it. And if you get that, you can type yes in the chat box.
So I think Yogendra, a lot of people may also have a doubt. You have access to this creation because normally this must be a paid service, right? One can pay and get it. You have an access to basically demo this, and hence you're able to show us.
Mm-hmm. I will, like in the end, yeah, I thought that I have a plan. Like in the end, I will show you how you can do this in your own account without paying any money.
That would be nice.
Okay, so I will just open this remote desktop file. Okay, it is getting connected. It says username is administrator, but it is asking for the password. So guys, my username is administrator, but password, it says get the password. And who can get the password? Whoever is having that key, they only can get the password. I'll just browse and will select that key. Where is it? September 2022. I'll just open this key. So this is using RSA algorithm. You can search for that. RSA stands for Reves, Shamir, Adleman. These are the three guys who created this algorithm for encryption of the data. So that is all part of the cryptography. So I will just upload that key and I will decrypt the password. And here I got a very user-friendly password. Those who can remember this, please remember this. I will just copy it. And we'll put the password over here and continue. So simply by putting the username and the password, I have logged in inside my virtual server. Now, no one can say that I'm working on MacBook. Now this is my Windows machine. It's a full-fledged Windows machine with the complete administrative control. We can install any application inside this. We can use it as the application server. We can use it as a database server. We can use it as our web server. So whatever the way we want, we can use this machine. And you can see 30 GB of storage. If you remember, this is the size which I've selected when I was creating this machine. And now if I go to the properties of this virtual machine, 1 GB of RAM with 2 virtual CPUs, 1.5 gigahertz CPU rotation. So this is showing the power of the servers. This is completely activated Windows copy, not the pirated one. Okay. So yeah, this is your Windows machine, guys. And you have the complete control over this. Now you can see how much time it took to create a server. How much time it took to create a server. So near about 2 to 3 minutes of time, not 10 minutes. After that request, it took near about 2 to 3 minutes of time to install the operating
So
system.
for Jagadish, he was also explaining you how to do it. Otherwise, you would have done it in shorter time, right?
Yeah. So within like we can say maximum within 5 minutes of time, we can have our own servers in our hand, and we can install any of our applications inside that. So guys, this is the beauty of cloud computing environment. If you need the same server in the physical form, definitely you have to wait for a couple of months of time. I can see 12.8 GB space is available. Definitely 12.8 GB space is available. Because guys, Windows operating system is big. It will take some space. Even that is in case of your laptop as well. Okay. Public.
Okay, Yogendra, sorry.
Yeah.
We have 8 minutes more. So I'm
Yep.
just wondering if you have come to some logical conclusion. Maybe
Yes.
we should stop this and then just ask some generic questions. Can we do that?
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I'll do that. Very
So
first
there
thing
is one question, Yogendra, which is I saw many people asking is, can I start my career by studying AWS as a
I start-
fresher?
Yeah, definitely, guys. I have some examples. Like before becoming the corporate trainer, I was teaching in engineering college as well. And then like normally what happens is whenever the companies are taking the interviews, they just want to know, do you know about the cloud computing? Do you know about cloud computing? Because they do not expect that you know about the in and out of the services as well. They will just ask you the simple questions: public cloud, private cloud. And when you start talking about AWS, like I know these services, I have done some POCs in that, I have created some resources, I know how to create them, and that will be the plus point. And about like starting the career in the cloud computing, yes, definitely there are a lot of options available in the market. Again, I would say like you can go to, don't believe on me, you can go to Glassdoor, you can go to Naukri.com, you can go to LinkedIn, and in the jobs you can search for AWS solutions architect or AWS developer or AWS resource administrator. You can search for that, and you will be amazed when you are getting the huge list of job requirements. And I would say like even if you search for that right now, you will have a lot many options available over there. Because guys, as I said, like doesn't matter your project is dependent, your project is in Python or in Java, and you are working on some technologies. You need a platform, guys, and that platform will, like AWS will provide you that particular platform. So definitely, and yeah, as a solutions architects are doing the best. What is mean by a solutions architect? You might have heard of this word many of the times. So when we say AWS solutions architect, the responsibility of the solutions architect is to take the request from the clients, and based on that request, they will propose the architecture, like how it should look like, how many servers you need, what should be the configuration of those servers, how these servers will communicate to the underlying resources, underlying infrastructure. So these are all the work of the solutions architect, and that is in the huge demand. So I would say definitely you can start your career being the AWS certified. So how you can start the career? So you should be certified, guys. Certification is very, very important, because like if you have the knowledge, why don't you prove it? Just prove it. You can go for the certifications. What mechanical engineer is needed to build their career in the cloud computing? Guys, I don't know much about the mechanical engineering, but I know that there are so many big simulations that are going on. So for those simulations, you can like use the huge EC2 instances, the accelerated computing EC2 instances, and this is how the mechanical engineers are using those big large machines. Even like if you are working on some projects, I would say create some EC2 instance with a heavy configuration, and you can run some simulations inside that. That will help you. Okay, other questions?
I see a lot of people asking a lot of queries on, I am not able to do this. How do I attend this? I miss this. I want a recording of this. All of these questions. I just want to answer one thing. We will share the recording of these, all the whole series with people. The primary thing is we expect people who are coming here to come with some basics. Please go enroll into the course and do at least 1 or 2 modules, because otherwise you'll be completely lost. So since I did 1 or 2 modules, I can relate to the words. I may not have understood everything inside those words, but at least I know where is it coming from. So that is number 1. Number 2, I have shared the list of things. Now, the Zoom webinar series, we are, Yoginder and Nupur are going to be with us. Either of them will be with us in the next upcoming 3 sessions. So this is not the end of it. Today, obviously, we are almost there towards the end of this session, but we have upcoming sessions on, and I'll just show the presentation again, because I modified the dates for everybody's interest. Just a minute. Please remember that. Okay, why is it not coming? Just a minute. Yeah, so please understand that we have a series for people who are serious, who really want to learn. And we also expect all the learners to come with a basic responsibility that the resources are here. They are here to explain it to you, but please take it on yourself to do some learning on your own, right? So this is the time AWS. We are going to have 31st, 2nd September is the next session. I hope by then you can do a couple of modules, because there are 11 modules and it is expected to be done in 6.5 hours. All you can do is by 2nd September, I'm sure you'll be there on the 4th or 5th module. Then we will be meeting on 7th and then on 9th of September. By this time, we also expect you to finish this course, and we'll be discussing on 9th more about assessments, right? And we also have parallel course acquiring data, about which we will share the links only post this session. We don't want to confuse people. Otherwise, there are so many Zoom links that people get confused. So tomorrow we are meeting as a group where normally we meet for the cohort we used to meet. There we'll clarify all your doubts regarding, I'm not able to register, I'm not able to log in, I'm not able to enroll, and we can take them separately and not, waste everybody's time over here. So, and Yoginder,
Can
you want to
that
leave
link, Anjana, the tomorrow's Zoom link you link, and also the WhatsApp group.
the WhatsApp group thing. Yeah. So, so Yoginder would leave you with what you need to prepare, come prepared next class. So it would be nice if you come with some background. All of you, please be with us. And the session, all recordings will be shared by the end of 4th session, not in between.
Okay, just give me this last 3 minutes. So guys, I have I've seen some interesting questions. How are these web services developed in AWS? They will never answer this question, guys. They will never answer this question, how they have developed it. Okay, this first thing. But most important thing is I have created a server just to show you what is the power of AWS, like how you can create the servers. Now, someone asked like how we can create our own free tier account in AWS. So guys, here I'm sharing one link with you, aws.amazon.com/free. You can go to this link and you can see what is available for free. And if you see the Amazon EC2 service, 750 hours per month are free if you are creating T2 micro or T3 micro EC2 instance. So the instance which I have created, that is for free. So you can do that, guys. Even in this, you can see you can create a free AWS account as well. So I would suggest you can create your free tier account. There is no auto deduction, even though they are asking for the card or credit card or something. There is no auto deduction in that, guys. So no need to worry about that. Create your free tier account and start playing with that. Whatever you are learning in the theory, you should implement that. Just start creating some instances. You will love that. Okay, so that is very first thing. Second thing, very interesting question. How much dollars AWS is charging for this? So guys, basically there is no central pricing model. There is no central pricing. Each and every service is having its own different pricing. And if you want to see the pricing, the best resource is the AWS documentation. Search for AWS EC2 pricing. Just search for this. The very first link will show you EC2, and here we have the pricing section. You can see AWS EC2 pricing. You can just go there. These EC2 instances are charged on per hour basis, and this shows like we have some instances available under the free tier as well. So on per hour basis, like on demand instances, I would go with. And you can see the data transfer cost is there, the data transfer within the same region. So you have all these options available. See, here are the pricing. These are the per hour pricing for the EC2 instances. I have created this T3.micro EC2 instance. The per hour pricing is $0.0104. So here you can see the pricing model. Okay. Anything else?
How many machines can you create? Somebody has just asked that.
How many machines? See, it doesn't matter how many machines you are creating, but they say 750 hours. Means suppose you have created 2 machines and you are running both the machines for 2 hours, it means 4 hours. So this is how it works, 750 hours. Seven 2019, yes, they have the 2019 version as well. Can we pause them? Yes, definitely. Once you have created your virtual machine, you can just go and stop that virtual machine as well whenever you do not want it. Later, if you want it, you can start it again. The public IP, like AWS is having a very big pool of public IP addresses. So whenever you create one EC2 instance, the public IP is randomly associated with that instance. So in that case, you can get the public IP address. Okay, let me just show that very quickly. Where you can see the public IP address of that machine. Let's go back to the EC2 service. Instances. Windows Server. So once I've selected this Windows Server, you will get the complete detail of that server over here. This is the public IP address of that server. We got the private IP address, public IP address, public DNS, private DNS, and the complete detail of that. Operating system is Windows, Amazon Machine Image ID, all the details you will get here. So that's what I said, like start playing with that particular console, you will get all the details over there. How to interface with on-premise systems, guys. First, that is hybrid cloud environment. So we will talk about that later. But in that case, like we are normally using the VPN connections or the optical fiber connectivities. Okay, that's all from my side. Now over to you.
Thanks, Yogendra. I think we are over the time, and I feel like sometime 1 hour is also too short, and maybe we should have longer sessions. But we'll meet you for the next session on 2nd of September, guys. Everybody, the same Zoom link will work. All of you, we will just send it again so that you remember it. But there will be a reminder from Zoom. You know, I've just kept it 1 hour before, 1 day before, all of those accesses. And we've also put the WhatsApp group. If you have any more queries, So thank you, Yogendra, and thank you, Nupur, for being with us. And we'll meet you again on
Sure,
2nd of
sure.
September.
Sure.
Thank you,
Yeah,
guys.
just one question, one point. 2nd of September is going to be the next expert session, but our learning sessions will happen tomorrow. So I see questions around as a teacher, what do I get, etc., and career related questions. So if you have questions on how to join the course, what is this program about, or you have questions on your career and how this course is going to help you, what is certification, etc., please join tomorrow's session. You join the WhatsApp group, you'll get all information there. So see, Anjana
I
has
put
put
the
the
Zoom
WhatsApp.
link also. I put the Zoom link also and the WhatsApp also. So wherever you want to join, first join in one place. If you join our WhatsApp group, we'll give you all the information.
Yeah, there is one question in the chat box, like, can you share this recording with me so that I can practice this tonight? So I have shared this link. This link will show you the step-by-step process of creating this EC2 instance. AWS documentation is having everything, guys.
Yeah, I know. I mean, one
It
has
is
to
called
just
as the
get
Bible of AWS.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody.
Yogendra and Nupur.
Yeah, happy Ganesh Chaturthi to everyone. Thank you for joining us on a holiday. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you
Okay.
very much.
Thank
guys.
you.
A lot.
Thank you.
Bye.
Let's meet later.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.